The next thing will be contracts to acquisitions. Now that you have a property under contract, taking it from contract to close. I want to do 80%, right? If I get 10 contracts, I want 88%, oh gosh, math is hard. I want 8 of them to go to the closing table. There's 3 things that you need to keep in mind. There's things that you don't have control over. There's things that you have influence of. And there's things that you do have control over. So things that you don't have control over is title. Let's say that you're talking to a seller. You get a property under contract. You submit it to the title company. They're not even the seller. Okay, you can't control that. You have no control. Back out, whatever. Move on to the next one. Next thing that you can do, things that you have influence over. We're going to talk about, like, this is massaging. This is massaging the seller. Calling them every now and then, just letting them know what's happening with the title, letting them know the next steps. Setting yourself apart, really, as a professional. I can't tell you how many people compliment me when I do this. And I should say when I do this, because oftentimes I don't, because we're lazy. Sometimes we put properties under contract, and then we go radio silent for 2 weeks. It's a bad business practice, folks. We should be reaching out to these sellers, letting them know that we are professional, we are prepared, taking care of them so that they have that confidence that we are going to close. That way you don't have sellers getting squirrely, getting cold feet, and changing their minds halfway through the sale or at the closing table. And then the last thing that are things that you do have control over, and that's having a process. If you don't have a process, name one business that's been in business for more than 20 years that doesn't have a process. I'll wait. There isn't any. Every single business has a process, and you need to have a process and have the speed to finish that process very quickly. And so this is just like a simple checklist. When we put a property under contract, these are the wickets that we hit. That way, we don't mess up. We file the memorandum. We go to the title company. There's a lockbox already on the house when the photographer gets there. We have a scope of work drafted up for the contractors. We're pre-screening the contractors. We're getting the appraisal and the home inspection. All these things are being put into place. And if you don't have a process, you will skip steps. Not on purpose, just on accident. So having that process written out the first time that you use a template, use somebody else's the first time. But as you're finding your own, creating your process. The more times you do that process, it's just like working out. You get better and better at it. That way you can be faster. That speed for your process is important, and that's what's going to get more contracts to the closing table.